All right, guys, what's going on? So, this is my second live stream of the day. We'll see how long this goes. I know it's your Sunday night in America. 65% of my subscribers are from America, so I don't expect this one to be too busy. And a lot of you guys are just getting used to myself going live twice a day. So, this is my second one. The first one, we covered what happened this past weekend with the fights. I'll leave this open as well. I'm just going to start for a few minutes to talk about the fights tomorrow. There's fights in Japan. I broke this fight down. If you guys are getting action on it, go to my fight prediction playlist. You'll see my stats don't lie. It's Yamaguchi versus Yuri. It's a rematch. The first fight happened about a year ago, and it resulted in a draw. These guys aren't world level. They're not world class sort of champions. They are fighting for a Japanese title at super flyweight. It's at 115 pounds. And the odds makers, not quite a 50-50 fight. The odds makers currently have Yamaguchi at $1.56 and Yuri at 260. If you want to know my complete analysis, watch the Stats Don't Lie video. I'm taking Yamaguchi in the rematch. Both guys are 5'6". Both guys are southpaws. You know, you can watch the first fight. It's on YouTube. If you guys are betting on this fight, I suggest you watch the first fight. And I like Yamaguchi body attack. I like his arsenal to the body. I think he's a little bit more cleaner. He has had a fight since their last fight, and Yuri hasn't. You mix that with Yamaguchi being a bit younger, being a bit more active. I like his body work. I'm going Yamaguchi at $1.56. And, you know, you guys have a look at that. Let me know. And we could move on. We started the live with that. So we can revisit that for all the bettors. If not, we could keep it. You know, I'm going to leave this live to talk about whatever you want. Skeezy in the house. Skeezy, did you see me share your comment? I tried tagging you in it, but I guess on YouTube, there's like 15 people, Skizy. So I try to at you, but the serial killer comment was hilarious. You know what I'm talking about. Still, and if you guys missed my first stream, we talked about Ticketgate. We talked about Ticketgate last night, and I gotta be honest with you. I'll bring if we want to talk about Ticketgate, we can. Ticketgate's on the cards for this live stream. We also have on the cards for this live stream Rush Hour Fight Club with what's happened with that guy. There's a lot of behind the scenes sort of things to talk about. We got fights tomorrow. Mara the Prince in the house. Nice little Long Beach card next Saturday that features Andrew Chop Chop's on that card. Yeah, Andres Cortez. Elvis Rodriguez is fighting. Yeah, that is a nice little card. Boxing's so brutal, man. Boxing's so brutal. It seems like just yesterday we were talking about Elvis Rodriguez versus Landolfo Delgado, which was a very close fight. Very close fight. And it was one of these fights that was going to propel the winner to a massive, huge fight. And Landolfo, Landolfo got the edge, and now Elvis is fighting. I guess Long Beach isn't that bad. This card, it's not that. I like these cards actually. Lawrence King, yeah, Chop. He fought against my boy Dana Colwell, so we know these names. Mar the Prince, thanks for the shout out. Thanks for the reminder. Kyle Hayden in the house. Salute. Guys, if you haven't joined the Discord, you see all the boys I'm talking to as they're checking in with the stars. Click the link in the bio or click the link in the comments here. Couple bucks a month, get access to the Discord, and you get more access on these live streams too. I'm checking in. Andresa Baslan. Andresa, what's up? Good day, Johnny. What's your thought on Kieran Conway and Littard? So yeah, so this is my next breakdown. So Andresa, like I said, I already uploaded the Japanese fight, which comes tomorrow. It's on. We'll probably watch it on YouTube. We'll stream it in the Discord. I'll be breaking down Littard versus Conway. Let's have a look at the odds, and I'll tell you my sort of initial inclination on who I like. I still have about official prediction, but based off of the odds as they stand, Kieran Conway is the $2.10 underdog. I got to be honest with you. I like Conway right now. I do like Conway. This is a British dust up walk fun. So it's Conway versus Littard. It's a UK card. Um, Off jump, I like Conway. We featured both guys on the channel before. We got about 6 days until that fight card goes down. So I'll give you my breakdown and I'll give you my official prediction. But right now, I do like Conway probably by decision. So give me 1 second. Let's pull up Kieran Conway real quick. Yeah, Wakfon said he doesn't know much about him. Wakfon, and this is my job. First and foremost, guys, I'm a lifelong boxing. I grew up boxing. I'm more than a boxer. Boxing's my first love. So more than any, and also, one of my hats I wear is I'm a coach. So I'm a teacher. I'm a coach. So for people who don't know about certain fighters, it's part of my job to explain, teach, educate. I'll break down the fights, and then if you're sprinkling a little money on it, it's up to you. I'm not forcing anybody here to ever bet. Also, guys, for the having fun gambling, don't gamble. You know what I'm saying? If you're not enjoying whatever you do, don't do it. Whether it's gambling, whether it's a toxic relationship, whether it's a bad habit, life is short, man. One of my favorite quotes of all time, Joseph Campbell: "Life is play." So if you're not having fun, don't do it. But let's check out Conway's box rec. So here we go. Conway's 23-3, 7 knockouts. We just covered. Wow, time flies, man. We covered the Ryan Kelly fight, but that was this past November. He's fighting Lidard, Bethnal Green. Let's look at the event. These pop-ups on BoxRec are insane, guys. Yeah, so we got Conway versus Lidard. We got Shannon Ryan versus Chloe Watson. Troy Coleman's on this card. Like I said, not a lot of huge names. The fight's gonna be streamed on DAZN. So if you guys are boxing heads and you subscribe to DAZN, you'll be able to watch these fights. I'm gonna break down the Conway Lidard fight. I'm gonna break down Shannon Ryan versus Chloe Watson. So you'll get two breakdown, prediction, and analysis videos on my end. But Conway, right now, like I said, the odds are a bit 50-50, probably because Conway has double the amount of fights. George is young. George has that youthful energy. 12-0, 7 knockouts. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Let me do my tape. George is coming off a nice win over a guy with 20 fights. I got to do my tape. You know what I'm saying? So nothing official. Now that I look at it, I might be leaning towards George, but we'll get there when we get there. Hand history vault. I've been skeptical of Muscles ever since he refused to take Guaner plus Duarte. Then I see him take multiple Dumas bets. Yeah, the whole Muscles thing is insane, mate. Also, just the doubling down of what he's doing. And I offered him to come on the show. I'm not gonna remove him from our Discord because I'm not. I don't think it's good to silence somebody. I'm not gonna do that. He's stay like, and I can't ever bring him on the show though. I can't ever platform him again until he addresses it. So I watched Gary's live stream, and I'm actually, you know, I'm actually kind of bummed that, like, Gary. I watch it specifically to see. And I was texting back and forth with some of the boys because a lot of the guys in my Discord are in Gary's Discord. And from my perspective and from Gary's perspective, we're running a community, right? And whenever you have a guy in that community who postures and positions themselves as a professional bettor, you have other guys who want to be that. I've read the comments. Some guys look up to a guy like Muscles. So when you're sharing fake tickets and when you're lying about wins and when you get called out with receipts and evidence, and then you deny it and double down and you get real nasty and text, you start talking real nasty, you're getting really defensive. It's like, all right, bro, show us your receipt and then come on my live stream. I'll give you the opportunity to tell us why you shared a fake ticket. And no, it's been the total opposite. It's pretty shocking. um And like Mar says, the ticket gate will never go away. Dudes in the Discord. Well, it's just not that, because the way he was doing his thing, the way Muscles operates is that he doesn't have social media. So he props himself up by other people platforming him, which is fine. I thought, I always looked at him like a mate and a buddy. And then even if he's had past issues with TJ before, which that's fine. Not everybody's going to get along. But I got to be honest with you, TJ's coming at it from an ethical perspective. I mean, it's not like you're saying you're winning $200. You know what I mean? You're saying you're winning like 20,000. And then you're calling everybody who knows that it's a fake ticket. Now you're calling everybody and insinuating that everyone's lying. And then you say that everybody is jealous of you. It's like, bro, what are you doing, man? Just admit, just man up, say you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Say you messed up. You got a little bit of FOMO. You saw everybody who had hit on Fawaz, and you wanted to feel a little bit of gratification. So you shared a fake ticket, and you didn't expect to get caught, and you got caught, and now admit to it. And that's the only way. That's the only way I think we solve this, right? I mean, what other way are we going to be able to solve this? Because it's a pretty weird situation, mate. But years ago, he made $250,000. Today, he says he still makes $300,000. Yeah, but the thing about it is, all of that. Like, I gotta be honest with you guys. When I first platformed him in April, I got a lot of messages from guys I didn't know, and they weren't good messages. They were talking about, "Hey, Johnny, I know you don't know me. Um, f that dude, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "What? These guys must be hating." So I always take the benefit of the doubt. And I still do. Like I said, I will bring him on. But when you read the Discord statements, dude, and when you read like the back and forth and how, like I said, how aggressive he's being, dude, bro, just admit it. From Gary's perspective, I'm not trying to tell Gary how to run a business, but people pay to be in Gary's Discord. I'm sure they expect Gary to have an opinion on this. You know what I mean? Gary just can't say I don't have an opinion. I know he doesn't want to get involved, but it's his Discord. There's people who are in that community who are learning how to box, who are listening to other people, who are being influenced by other people. And a lot of people are being influenced by Muscles and his picks and the money he allegedly bets on. And so when you have somebody like that lying, faking, in that space and it's your platform, I think you're required to at least have a comment. So I was kind of like shocked and perturbed by that. I thought that, and like I'm saying, Gary could do whatever he wants. Yeah, he pled the fifth, but but I mean, what about, what about the guys in that Discord? You know what I'm saying? Aren't we supposed to hold each other accountable? Like, why fake the funk? You know what I'm saying? It's a blatant misstep. You know what I mean? It's not even like, and it's not. It's become a big deal because he's made it a big deal, and it's just weird, man. It was just a weird misstep. But anyway, yeah, it was bizarre. Conway is a bit of a Chad. Looks a bit like Victor Postel. What does that mean? What does a bit of a Chad mean? Mar the Prince tripled down. Yeah, he tripled down, and he's got like he's gotten like nasty about it, telling like people are jealous of you. Like, bro, what are you talking about, mate? You got caught tickets. It's the same exact ticket. Same exact. So in Gary's live, he was asked by you boys multiple times, and Gary wouldn't speak on it. He said, you know, I'm not going to talk about it. But like, it's one thing with Chivo High not talking about it, Pudgems, boxing, all you boys in the Discord, but it's my platform. You know what I mean? I can't ever bring Muscles on my show. That's he could. I can't ever bring him on my. The only way I could ever bring him back on is if he pops on a live and tells us why he did it and shows us. Also, guys, how hard is it to show the whole receipt? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a bizarre thing. When have you guys ever showed, in my Discord at least, when you guys won, when have you ever posted your receipt, your ticket, and not showed the whole thing? You know what I mean? Damn, this let me put it on here real quick. Let's just look at these odds. Cropping it. Yeah, and just how he did it. Have you talked personally to Muscles? I messaged him. No, man. I messaged him, and then we spoke. We spoke in the Discord, and he definitely knows how to get a hold of me. You know, he has my number. One of the only one or two people who have my personal number. And I thought it was strange too that like I've spoken to him probably like every day since about bets. He was a bit silent this week. This was the first week since March I didn't get a message from him. And we just how it went about. We know he doesn't bet underdogs. We know he would never. The dude would never bet $20,000 on a plus 325. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. He would never do. He would never do $20,000 on Bilal Fawaz. You know what I mean? It's so bizarre. No, he didn't. He didn't snap at me. But when he posted, you know, he then posted a video, by the way, of him cashing out. And I'm like, that video looks very familiar. I said that in the Discord. I was like, that shit looks familiar. I think I've seen that before. Uh, it's a weird thing. History Vault, in my opinion, he's jealous of Chilltown, been on fire. Yeah, see, I don't. So you're saying there's jealousy about winning bets? Because I think the personality wise, I would pull like Chilltown is such a knowledgeable dude when it comes to boxing. Even if he was like, I'm new to the betting side. Chilltown could talk boxing with me. We could chop it up for hours and never even talk about the bets. Do you know what I'm saying? So that Chilltown's a legit boxing dude. I just don't I don't know the intentions of a guy who would who would make a fake ticket and then put it in a public Discord, like in a private Discord where everything is, we all know what's going on, and then expect also, guys, the audacity to think that nobody would notice that. You know what I mean? That's a bit sociopathic. When you guys look up the definition of sociopathy, let me show you something real quick. Sociopath, a person consistently exhibiting antisocial, impulsive, manipulative behaviors not in current use. Sociopathy is more like when you're able to just blatantly lie or manipulate just for the sake of propping your image up at the behest of not caring about your environment, the people around you, and you're able to kind of compartmentalize normal emotions while you're doing it. The idea that these things were shared and then denied in our group, that's offensive. Everybody should be offended. Everyone should be offended because that is that is sort of the highest form of offense. He's basically saying that we don't know shit, we're wrong, and we're haters. It's like, what are we talking about, bro? I hope people, dude. I want him to come on the live. We'll see if he does. He would never. So I don't know this Garner Duerte thing. Did this guys fill me in with Garner Duerte? So I didn't know. Did he? So this isn't the first time. Muscles would never bet 20. I know he just yeah. Yeah, I don't know the Garner Duerte thing. It's insane. It's insane. It's the same exact ticket. Even if you put $20,000, even if you put $20,000 on Bilal Fawad was a plus 325. It wasn't two minus two. It wasn't this. And then you mix the marble background, dude. The marble. This isn't, bro. This is wild. I have to keep it 100, Chivo, because I brought it. I brought this dude on my channel. Like, guys, I'm not new to this. Like, I've been. If you Google my name, the reason, and Chivo, appreciate you recognizing that. But I'm not new to this. If you Google my name, you could go back to 2015, over a decade ago. I had started my first podcast where I was interviewing like Evander Holyfield, George Foreman in Sydney. One of the first podcasts popping a decade ago. And then I started another podcast where I'm interviewing, Layla Ali, Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, these sort of types, entrepreneurs, scientists. And then I wrote a book, and then I wrote another. My point is, I've been, the last decade of my life, I'm used to brushing shoulders with people that I'm going to ask questions to and I'm going to learn from. And a lot of those people have platforms, and there's a way you operate, there's a way you navigate, there's a way you go about your business, and it should be ethically. And so when this shit's happening on one of my platforms, especially paid subscriber invite only private Discord, and this sort of thing's going on, and then when you get called out, you double down and try to say people are just haters, and he was dropping the N-bomb like he was like, it was insane, dude. What's even crazier is, if you read the whole goddamn thing, I want an apology. I want an apology. Muscles, if you're hearing this, call me. Yeah, people aren't dumb. Also, people aren't dumb. It wasn't that hard to tell, and saying you make big money off betting doesn't excuse it. Yeah, man. And something you guys don't know, if you go back to the very first live stream I ever did with him, it was a couple months ago. And uh, we stream it, and then I posted it. And the very first live stream he was ever on, he was talking about sort of tax stuff, or like how whether he paid or didn't pay taxes on his gambling winnings. And I never delete videos. I never delete videos. And afterwards, somebody must have messaged him. I didn't even know him. He asked me to take the video down, and I did. I did. I took the video down. I never do that. It probably cost me, not a lot of money. Cost me probably $50 in terms of like views and stuff like that. But the thing is, that's just the type of dude I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did. He said he made a slip up and something he didn't want to give away. Whatever. He asked me. He didn't want it to be public, even though it was a live stream. I didn't have to listen to him. I didn't have to agree with him. I could have left it up. I didn't. I took it down. And then I thought you were rolling with those guys where you're saying, I'm still rolling with them guys. Like I said, I don't throw people away. I just hold people accountable. Muscles is still my guy. I just want him to make this shit right. You know, I want him to make that shit. Come on. I want to be able to laugh about this shit with him. You know what I'm saying? I think the proper move would be, is him come on my channel, him go on Gary's channel. We talk about this. He explains why he did it, and then we laugh about it. And then we move on. That's the only way you get through that. Julius, this is by far putting too much pressure. I appreciate you. Well, you guys keep it. You guys keep it gangster though, man, Julius. I gotta be on my A game because you guys hold me down. So thank you, Julius. Boxing. Gary is iffy too. Gary's made some weird calls. Now look, I'm not here to shame anybody. I'm not shaming Muscles. I'm holding Muscles accountable. That's different. You boys know that. There's a difference between shaming somebody, clowning somebody, burying somebody. I'm holding them accountable. I'm not shaming Gary for not having a comment. I just had to say that I think that, obviously we handled it differently, right? Him and I handled it totally differently. When you say he's made some weird calls, look, no one's 100%. I'm not talking about, Gary's a beast. 3D's a beast. He puts so much work into this, guys. I don't think anybody truly knows how much effort it takes to do what he does, to do what I do. Gary's a beast. So the weird calls thing, if you're referencing, like, I picked against my favorite boxer. That's the weirdest call. The weirdest call, the YouTube content creator miss bag of the year goes to me. I picked Canelo to beat Bud. And I'll say it. It's fucked up. I can't believe I did that. But yeah. Somebody's calling me in the Discord right now. I did not know we could get phone calls from the Discord. If you're on this chat, Jcash, I don't know who you are, but I can't be answering phone calls on Discord, boys. We gotta have some lines drawn, dude. I didn't even know you could make a phone call on Discord till right now. We gotta have some boundaries, boys. Y'all be crazy. Okay, so Garner Duarte 2-leg parlay. Are we saying that this was one of those things where it didn't happen? That's right, Jeff. The intelligence and then just the sheer brutality. Because if you guys are in the Discord, the brutal like I'm not a mean spirited guy. Like if like me, Julius, boxing, Jeff, we're out and we're all mates. We grew up and we're out in public, and some other group are putting us like threatening us. That's a different version of me. I'm going to stand up and defend my friends, family. I'm a very loyal guy, but I'm not a mean spirited guy. Like you like I'm not gonna stab you in the back. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna be mean to you. Like seeing the way he handled it, dude, that was that's insane. Like you'll read the Discord chat. That was just pissed me off. It bummed me out, but now I'm still pissed off, man. This is effed up. I brought him on my channel, dude. This is crazy. The fact you believe the fake natty is more juice. Look at, I mean, but you see this statement though. We can't live lives in generalizations because you're under the. I don't know what he puts into his body, but let's say your premise, your presumption is right. That's still no reason to just totally throw somebody away because of some other thing they do. But yeah, and then Rambler to use that against me on the naivety, because of my naivete. So yeah, I disagree with that statement. Dog, look at the marble. Has anybody talked about the marble yet? So shout out to Boxing Fan. I don't know if Boxing Fan's in the chat. He's you guys know him. He's a G. He said, and I didn't realize this. He was like, Johnny. He called me. He was like, the pattern on marble tables or marble countertops are like fingerprints. He was like, you could just look at the background of both tickets. It's the same marble pattern. Just admit to it, G. The pattern on the table. There you go. What are the odds you place the new ticket in the same exact position? This isn't, dude. Just being lied to sucks. And right here. But hey, Manny, are you lying? Manny ain't lying. Shoot, Manny ain't never lied. Shoot, that boy ain't never lied. Manny ain't never lied. History vault. Fawaz is 165 on fight day. See, they keep coming. That wasn't the only lie. He said, and then what did he do when he was getting pulled up on it? He started to be defensive and make, y'all just mad. Y'all ain't living this life. Y'all just mad. Y'all ain't me. It's like, bro, see, that's where I had to come in because it's like, we're not about to do that because if you're going to try to clown people, I'm going to clown you too. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just roast. I'll roast you straight. I'll roast you straight back. Nobody's jealous of you, mate. Like this ain't that platform. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, we're supposed to, and shout out to, and I don't know the background with Chilltown, and I only know Chilltown just how I know Muscles. I've gone live with Chilltown more times recently, and like I said, his boxing knowledge, his propensity for fights, high fight IQ. I don't meet many guys like that I could say that like, man, TJ knows his shit, man. And then, you know, I want to also mention before he posted this, he DM'd me and said he was going to do it. He said, "Hey Johnny, do you mind if I put this dude on blast?" I didn't see that message. I was out with my girl, and then I read the next message. He goes, "Johnny, I just couldn't let it slide. I had to." And then he did it. But yeah, the lies. Didn't he say the casino has different odds? Isn't that insane? Hey, What do our videos called? That's crazy. Talk about a full circle moment, Julius. Right? Talk about a full circle moment. They don't. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, stats don't lie. Rock on, man. 100%. His casino is based on DraftKings. There's so many holes. Tell muscles to post picks. You know what? And live and let live. I'm live and let live, right? I just, yeah. We don't, nobody asks, like, that's the thing. None of us are asking people. It's not like before this, we wanted him to post. He was just digging his own grave. He was just kind of, he's the one who was burying himself. You know what I mean? Okay, just so you know, this is what I was referring to. TJ goes, should I put him on blast? So he asked before he went in. It's not like this is the craziest thing though. Is when I posted this, people were like, is TJ CIA out here? How that's another real question on some real shit. How did Chilltown have that ticket? Like, what does any like? I asked him. He started laughing. He was laughing his ass off. I was like, how did you just find that ticket to say right? Like. And then this is what I said. He says, sorry to do that in the chat. I couldn't help myself. I go, LOL. That's wild if he did this. Freaking muscles. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but how did TJ just randomly have that joint? Chiefs -2.5. I picked Canelo. I know you did, boy. I didn't. To answer that, it would be funny. Manny, I picked Bud all day. One of my favorites. I know. I want you guys to make fun of me every now and then. Just always remind me, hey, Johnny, you know you picked Canelo, right? Just do that for me. Because I'm not even a Canelo fan. That's the craziest shit. I'm not even a Canelo guy, and I picked Canelo. Based off of my... I'm not going to go down that road. Basically, Johnny, because you're 5'11", man, if you had a bigger chin, you'd be a Chad territory. So chin matters? I don't want a big chin. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm happy who I am, Rambler. Yeah, so Dan just realized Danny Garcia. Danny's fighting this weekend, guys. $40 fight. You got to pay $40 to get the pay-per-view. I'm sure some of the boys in the Discord will have that joint streaming. You know what I'm saying? So I want to watch. I always watch Danny Garcia. Not the most exciting guy as of late. Young, prime Danny Garcia, dude. When Danny would come in the pocket, that one of my favorite knockouts actually of all time. I forget who he was fighting. He circles to the middle. He's circling out left. He stops in the middle of the ring. He throws kind of like a sort of like feeling out jab. He slides into the pocket and now he's low and he lands that right hook to the ribs. Bang! And he goes ribs. Boom! Up top, hook up top. Or no, maybe it was a straight right. I think what Garcia did was he circles left, middle of the ring, slides in the pocket, drops a level, straight right to the core. Big hook up top. Gorgeous. I remember watching that Danny Garcia combo and then going straight downstairs to the heavy bag trying to emulate it because it was years ago. It's tough to do to drop a level and actually land that straight punch to the body and then all in unison as it lands you come up boom and land over the top. I love that combo. 2 to the body, 3 up top. Football's entered the chat. Football's entered the chat. Ryan Hong in the house. he was just clowning. I'm kind of tired. After today, I think that the whole ticket gate will probably be died down. This will be our last breath of ticket gate, I assume. At least I did my part. I had to address it. It's addressed. And look, when you compare what he did versus what Rush Hour did, That's freaking insane too, boy. Our little small little our little small little ecosystem of like low level boxing content creators. When you put Muscle just lying about making stacks versus what your boy did, that ain't my boy. That's y'all boy. Y'all know who I'm talking to. So at least Muscles ain't going to prison. He ain't going to the Pookie. I don't think he is. Was it Rod Salk or Ryan? Danny Garcia's the king of the no look left hook. Yeah, Garcia's sneaky, man. Garcia's sneaky. Garcia's a Hall of Famer. When you look at Danny's resume, man, people sleep on him. I've been using Wikipedia or Tapology because BoxRec is out of its mind right now on ads, and I'm not about to pay a couple bucks for BoxRec. But look, this is insane. All right, let's go back to before he fought Keith Thurman. He was 33-0. Before the Keith Thurman fight, first guy to beat Robert Guerrero. He wasn't the first guy to beat Guerrero. Keith Thurman, I think, was the first guy to beat Guerrero. But he beats the Ghost. He beats Paulie Malignaggi. He beats Lamont Peterson. The knockout of Rod Salka. Lucas Matisse, Zab Judah, Eric Morales. I mean, Eric Morales, Hall of Famer. Like, he got Amir Khan. Beat Eric Morales twice. I mean, he got some good names on his resume, man. Remember Ashley Theophane? Do you remember Ashley Theophane? That's crazy. Dude, you know what? And when he retired, this is his last fight, it's kind of the end of an era, end of that old, like, I mean, how old's Danny? Danny has to be, is he 40 now? He's 6 years younger than me. He's only 37. He's Bud's age. So I don't think so, mate. Here's a quick story about that. I was telling one of my boys about my interaction. This is real rap. This is 100% facts. Those who know this question will know what I'm talking about. Do you guys remember how you guys talked me into starting a Discord, right? We did. I'm so grateful for you guys, the chat. You guys pretty much talked me into doing live streams every day. I'm grateful for that. I didn't know I'd like live streaming like this. I do. It's one of my favorite things that I do in terms of content creation. It is my favorite form of content creation, right? You guys were the ones who wanted me to go live with Gary from 3D. You guys were the ones who wanted me to go live and bring Nick on from Breaking Bad, which we did. Even Muscles, Chilltown. You guys ask, I listen, right? 4 months ago, I was getting messages about this dude. 4 months ago, I was getting messages to do a collab with this dude Rush Hour, right? Never heard of him. I popped into his channel. He was doing a live stream with Nick. This would have been maybe a couple months ago. He was doing a live stream with Breaking Bad, and all I did was pop in, just say I'm checking in. What's up? How you boys doing? And I didn't do it to even make a scene. I just did it. I wanted to see how he operated, right? I was kind of vetting him before, if you're, Muscles isn't a content creator. TJ isn't a content creator. The only vetting I could do is from like how they're corresponding with me behind the scenes of how we're speaking to each other. And from there, I'm like, all right, there's a vetting process. Like TJ sent me an email in March, and it took me until second week of August, I think, to do our first live stream together. My point is, I check into that live stream. I wasn't on it. I commented, and Breaking Bad was like, "Oh, what's up, Johnny?" Blah blah blah. And the way that dude Rush Hour reacted to Breaking Bad's reaction towards the comment, it's not like he didn't say anything, but it's kind of like how he reacted, and I didn't say anything, but I never forgot it, and that was that. And I just thought to myself, that's a weird reaction, man. It was just an odd reaction. I was like, and I wasn't expecting anything from it. I just didn't forget it. It's one of those things in life, when things happen, you kind of like store it somewhere for some reason. You don't know why. and then for whatever reason you revisit it. So when I found this out about this guy, I thought to myself, "Holy shit!" That was my intuition, I think, saying like, "Huh." It's the main reason why I never did any collabs with him. But yeah, Eric Morales was cooking. How good was Eric Morales? People forget, man. We had some good dude. Eric Morales, man. When Eric Morales would cook, boy, what a fun fighter! What a fun fighter! Dude, he had some wars. I mean, and this is just the truth. This is just the general case usually of how boxing ends up, right? Not everybody's gonna end like Floyd, and hopefully I don't jinx him. Not everyone's gonna end like Bud. This sort of thing usually what happens. You gotta have a guy who looks like this his whole career. Looks like this, 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 and then you kind of stay around a bit too long. You kind of get into some wars. You become a fan favorite. Dude, that Marco Antonio Barrera fight, boy, the draw, the Kevin Kelly knockout, the Kevin Kelly knockout, good fight. And then you start seeing Pacquiao stopped him. Pacquiao stopped him twice. The Maidano fight. And then he got knocked out against Danny Garcia that last fight. He was old. By the time he fought Danny, damn, that was 13 years ago. Holy shit. Time flies, boys. Next weekend is solid. Definitely some earnings. Yeah, so we got a fight tomorrow, Mar. Is anybody taking action tomorrow? Anyone taking action on let's get into it. And like I said, I didn't feature this because I'm a degenerate. This was a level 2. So I have a level 2 membership. Both levels get you into the Discord. It's just the level 2 is a couple bucks more a month. And with that membership, you get once a month, you tell me what fight you want me to feature. And then I do a professionally edited Stats on Live video. So this fight's going down tomorrow. I got to be honest with you, I probably wasn't going to feature it if it wasn't a fan or a level 2 request. But I broke down Yamaguchi versus Yuri. It goes on tomorrow. We're probably going to have to watch it on YouTube. And I think the odds have it right here. They fought once before to a draw. Both of these guys ranked 13th and 14th respectively at 115 pounds in Japan. In the world, I think out of 900 super flyweights, they're both kind of sitting in like 47, 48, 49 sort of area. Both guys have under 10 fights. Both guys are southpaws. Both guys are 5'6". A lot of typical guys, atypical Japanese domestic dust up. Stand in the middle, a lot of volume. Neither guy has one punch knockout power. They're going to be there to get hit. I'm leaning on Yamaguchi based off of recent activity. Yuri hasn't fought since the first one. Yamaguchi had one fight, won a decision. So I'm leaning on Yamaguchi, the younger guy, been more active, and I do like from a technical. Both guys have flaws. Neither guy probably won't ever be a world champion. I like Yamaguchi's body work. Level 3 is going to be. It's coming out. It's coming out at the end of the week. Thank you for asking, man. I wasn't sure if my girlfriend. I wasn't sure if anybody would even ask, but I'll keep it a little bit of a secret. Just adding a little bit more value for the boys, because this is just like this has been an organic grassroots thing. We've been growing as figuring things out. I never thought I'd even get to a point a couple months ago to even have a VIP Discord. So it'll be out in a few days. Boxing. I appreciate the interest. Rambler, hey man, you're all good, brother. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the room. I agree, bro. Don't join the Discord. No one's. This is important to highlight. He has fatigue already. If you're the smartest in the room, you're in the wrong room. Heard that? Not trying. No one wants you to blow your own horn, and no one's pushing back. I like referencing and highlighting both sides of the story. The Discord is more of a boxing community. You know what I'm saying? It's a place for people to share their tips, their wins, their losses. You get my favorite thing about the Discord, if somebody were like, Johnny, what's your favorite thing? It would be the community side. I like that aspect. I also like, from my perspective, not having to be I don't have to be connected to it 24/7. Like, for me to live stream, I have to be here. The Discord, you guys, it's the Wild West. You boys run that. Kyle Hayden. And shout out to I got to get back to him. Shout out to, in our Discord, Gil. Shout out to Gil. Gil's gonna help me do some mods on it. So I didn't even know that you could do mods on the Discord, but Gil's been asking me for a couple months. And if you're watching this, Gil, it's no shade to you, man. I'm just trying to figure everything out too. But after this past weekend, I think we could use a moderator. I couldn't find a link for the Japanese show. My understanding of this paywall in Japan. Kyle Hayden. Um, you know what we usually do is, there's somebody in our Discord, Kyle, who like, I don't know if they speak Japanese, but every time there's a Japanese card, they find the link on Twitter, and then I think it's Mayweather, who's, his name in our Discord is Mayweather. He then knows how to hack some stuff up, and then he plays it in the general section of the Discord. Randall Light, appreciate you. He's up. He's late. Breaking Bad's in the house. Mars in the house. Guys, so wow, 47, 48 minutes flew by. I didn't expect to even be on this long for the second live stream, but I guess we were chopping it up. I'll leave it on for a couple more minutes. Anybody have any questions about everything we spoke about? You guys want to talk about your wins this past weekend, your losses, a look ahead? We covered a lot. There's been some controversies. I kind of wish that we would just get an apology and just put Ticketgate to bed, but we'll see. You know me, I'm like do you guys watch Seinfeld? Does anybody watch Seinfeld? This is just so you know a little bit about me. I never watched Seinfeld. I wasn't a Seinfeld guy. Never watched it until I started dating. I've been with my girlfriend. We've been together for a long time. And it was probably a couple years ago. It was her favorite show. It's always been her favorite show, long before me. And she told me about Seinfeld. I started watching it. And then there's a character in Seinfeld, the girl, her name's Elaine. And there's this ongoing joke. If you're a habitual Seinfeld watcher, the ongoing joke is she can't tell a secret if you give her schnapps. Like, the minute she starts drinking schnapps, she's an open book. She'll start talking, telling secrets. She can't. It's kind of an ongoing thing. My point is, if you guys ever want me, I'm not saying I don't keep secrets, but with our content here, I can't say it's going to be the last time we ever talk about Ticketgate. So if you guys ever have questions, bring it up. I'll probably talk about it. Tomorrow I'm uploading. Tomorrow, my goal is to get through the film study on Kieran Conway. And then hopefully I'll be able to upload the breakdown versus George Littard. But watching, I guess I've been getting I guess George is 23. Conway's the older guy. George, not a lot of pro fights. Conway has all the experience. George is the younger prospect with star power. We just got to see if he's the real deal, guys. We see this a lot, and we always see these kind of, I don't want to call it a crossroads, but this is almost like a measuring stick fight, not a changing of the guard, not a crossroads, but it's kind of like, I don't want to call Kieran Conway a gatekeeper. He only has 3 losses. But it's kind of one of these fights like, all right, George, you're the real deal. How do you deal with this veteran? Let's see what time it is. I grew up watching Martin. Come on, mate. I grew up watching Martin. I grew up watching A Living Color. I grew up watching Martin. I remember when I was a kid, Monday nights would play at 7. I think it was like 7:30 p.m. You'd have to sit through Blossom to get to Fresh Prince. And so, like, I have 3 sisters, so my sisters would watch Blossom, and then we would all watch Fresh Prince. And this is the day and age of before cable. Martin, people forget how funny Martin was, man. And I know we all go through our stuff, and it's been well documented. He struggled with some stuff. But Martin, when he was younger, man, Martin was a goddamn electric storm. He was one of the funniest. Where you been with the UFC picks? The GOAT, Crizzles, all those was easy money. The GOAT, Charles. Yeah, I stayed away from the UFC this week and the week before, man. I'm trying to get, it didn't work for me this weekend. But if you guys remember in March and April, I hit 62 picks in a row. I want to get back to that. I didn't think it was, I thought it was normal. It was before I had the paid Discord. This is, I think, what brought up the Discord chat. It's because I would just share my winning tickets on YouTube, and over like weeks, I think it was from March to the end of April, I hit 62 in a row. So that being said, I'm not. It's not like I'm losing. I lost I lost a bullshit Justin Palmieri pick that I didn't freaking tape. I'm pissed I threw that on the goddamn ticket. We did a live stream prospect parlay, and I was doing the screen here, and I just threw him on a ticket. He lost, and then the other loss was the Dave Allen fight. So and then the week before I hit. I gotta be honest with you. This was the first week in a long time I didn't hit at least something in boxing. And ironically, it was the first week I stayed away from the UFC because I wanted to focus everything on just boxing, and I didn't hit. But I hit in the NFL, but I didn't share it because I don't want to be a DGen. I hit a 2-leg touchdown score. But yeah, Ticketgate reminds me of Tommy and his jaw. Ticket. So I guess the term Ticketgate is going to hang out for. I guess Ticketgate is what we're going to call it. It's pretty funny though. You know what I'm saying? And Kiza, I'll get back on UFC, man. I guess I missed out. I guess there were some locks with Charles. I heard he looked great. I heard I guess did Gamrot have an injury going in? I don't know if some of you boys in the Discord shared that before the fight. Did you guys in the Discord talk about you guys knew going into this fight that Gamrot had an injured rib? I didn't take action on it. I didn't see the fight. I guess Charles looked good, do Bronx. And yeah, I didn't have I'll get back on it. Jake Bellinger, Ohio State, that NFL touchdown play next time. I play those. Yeah, you guys know I'm a diehard Buckeye fan. We're looking good. You know what? I was just looking at it, man. Indiana is undefeated. They're traditionally a doormat. And unfortunately, fortunately, the Buckeyes don't play Indiana on our schedule this year, which is great because what we want in Columbus is Indiana to go undefeated and then meet us in the Big Ten championship game, and then we can put belt to ass. So that's how we like to do things in Columbus. Last couple of weeks, Contender Series. Yeah, I don't think I played. I stayed away from the Contender too this week. I think we got 1 week left. This is week 10 this week, so I'm definitely gonna take action on the Contender Series. That shit just flew by, guys.